And welcome back. We are wrapping things up with Godfrey Simmons Jr., the new artistic director of Hartbeat Ensemble, the Hartford Regional Theater Group, known for its provocative and thought-provoking performances. So what is the deal for 2020? What kind of things can we expect?
Lots of stuff, man. We've got. So coming up, we have our latest iteration of YPI, and
now YPI, is that sort of a West Indian sort of cadence on it? Because I mean, you're saying it like wipe eye, like wipe.
YPI, it's an acronym for Youth Play Institute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you said like YPI. Okay, all right. But that's geared toward teens, and you're getting a lot of teens involved in the region too.
And so and it's an 8-week program, twice a week, and it will end in them having written and directed and produced a play.
What kind of issues are they talking about? Because I mean, you can't go wrong ever in theater, right? With race, sexuality, and relationships.
Right.
So you can never go wrong with stories about that, right? What are the young folks, what are you hearing from them when you talk with these folks? What's bubbling up of stories of interest from them?
This spring, they're going to be looking at reentry.
Okay, that's a hot issue.
Right,
and from what standpoint? As far as the,
I think I mean, it depends on the group. They're gonna. I think they're gonna decide that, right?
Yeah, there's some great stories there.
Well, yeah,
because the system is not really promoted.
This is true.
The system talks good game by reentry, second chance, but it doesn't really support these guys coming out of the system.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is not there to really do it the way they say they want to do it.
But I'll tell you, they have a reentry center here in Connecticut, which is unlike many communities. Now I don't know anything about it. I'm saying that because, and I just moved here. I just know that was it was remarkable in terms of thinking about other communities, because that's not.
It needs to be in more than name only. I'm not saying it's not, but you have a reentry center. You got to make sure that if people come out, are you actually giving them needs? They need to get the IDs. They need to get drug screening, job training. So it's got to be more than a name only. I have people on staff who know what it is these folks need to make the transition. Because what I'm hearing is that they'll come out and the system is still too dysfunctional for them to really get a second chance. So they end up having to commit a crime again. And then the vicious cycle. They're trying, they're well-intended, but the system is designed to hold them back.
Yeah. And so these young people are going to be decided. They'll be. We use a consensus model in terms of making these plays, and so that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah. What else?
So they're going to
take a second chance. What else are you hearing?
So we're going to be working on that, and we've got our WTF festivals happening. Well, it's Women's Theater Festival, I'm
glad you made that clear.
And that's something that we've had for the last few years that we've worked on, and this
now,
time we're excited.
What are they? Because
it's about women. It's really kind of like providing a forum for women to what we do is we give basically like a week of basically access to the theater. To our theater space at the Carriage House.
What kind of issues are you hearing? What kind of things are bubbling up from women? I'm assuming relationships.
Oh man, I mean, so many things. I mean, they're dealing with misogyny. But they're dealing with so many things. They're dealing with, gender fluidity. They're dealing. I mean, but not. Women often don't have, particularly women of color, and this year, it's really going to be about women of color and artists and people who identify as non-binary and transgender women. And it's what's interesting about it.
Transgender issue is a hot issue.
Yep, absolutely. And so we've got two spots for two different women to basically have a week in a space and a modest budget to kind of to workshop something that they're working on, and it can be anyone from the community who's got a really good idea, So
how that work? They have a good idea. Say they aren't a writer, they have a good concept, or they have their own story that was horrifying or challenging, but they want to express that somehow. Can they bring you a concept that then you all work with and say, okay, we'll make this into a story?
Well, I mean, I think that part of it would be about interviewing with them to see if they have a plan at all, to kind of think about like how you want to, make this, or what's your idea, right? It could be the germ of an idea, but it'd be good to have an idea about like, okay, so how would I, what can I do with this week to kind of like workshop this idea, right? Do I need to get some actors, right? And we would say like, okay, you have X amount of money. And we would give, the advice that we would need that they would ask for. And, I think the idea is to provide space and whatever expertise that we have. But I think that people have, community members that they've got their own expertises. They could probably teach us a few things about how to make things, right?
Just kind of collating those good ideas and figuring out where to go in there.
Yeah. Right. And so in terms of the thinking about some of our other work, in May we're going to be presenting Rumble in the Theater by Marilyn Torres, who's a Puerto Rican
at the Carriage House.
She's a Puerto Rican theater artist, and it's a story about being Puerto Rican in the American theater, right? Like what it is to kind of think about theater as being in this really white space. And then after that, we're going to be doing.
I'm going to wrap you hard here. So that's coming up May.
That's coming up in mid-May.
So we've got
May 14th through the 17th. And the last thing I'll say is that we're doing Atto Fugard's "My Children, My Africa," and that's happening May 28th through June 13th. And we're going to be bringing back Pagao in May 2021.
All right.
Yeah, so we're excited about that.
Godfrey Simmons, thank you for your time. Folks, thanks for your time. Catch us on your own time. Fox61.com/Dan. Friend us on Facebook, Twitter too. We will see you next week. We're out of time.